Welcome back, and for more on this, we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by Dr. Yehya Abdulqader, our tourism counselor and expert. Dr. Yehya, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time this morning. Now, of course, the summer season is upon us. Lots of preparations by the Egyptian state to cater for tourists and visitors throughout the summer season. What can you tell us about the preparations that are busy and underway at the moment?
Well, of course, as we know, international leisure tourism accounts for 1 billion visitors per year.
Yes.
And Egypt is regarded one of the top leisure and resort destinations worldwide due to its extensive beaches, across the Mediterranean, southern Mediterranean,
yes,
as well as in the Red Sea and Sinai Peninsula. So that's why we receive, on annual basis, millions of visitors to both regions, and it has been, booming, for the last decade, and the government is making plans to add more, facilities and capacities to accommodate large number of visitors per year.
Indeed. Now, Dr. Yehya, the North Coast is a very popular destination for tourists, mainly Arab tourists maybe, and of course Egyptians as well. How important do you see the developments in the North Coast and the catering for the number of tourists that frequent the North Coast over the summer?
Really, it became, an international and world hub, for visitors on both regional and global scale as well.
Yes.
The government, allocated, massive, budgets for the development of infrastructure, major facilities, like airports, motorways, and other facilities to assist in building and developing resorts, which we have now currently in, Western, Alexandria, Alamein, all the way to Matruh. We have top resorts worldwide that we have, seasonal, influx of GCC countries, visitors to Egypt, and southern Mediterranean visitors as well.
Indeed. Now, Dr. Yehya, Arab tourists also have a large portion when it comes to summer tourism in Egypt. How important do you see their visits and the preparations for hosting them over the summer vacation?
Well, really, I'm in the tourism and travel business, and I visit locations and facilities. And really, there is, daily inflows of visitors coming, to Egyptian, resorts and hotels and facilities, and not only, to Red Sea, and North Coast, but all over the country, in Alexandria, in Cairo, in the Delta and Upper Egypt as well. So really, it's going to be a good year and good season, inshallah, for summer tourism to Egypt this year.
Indeed, Doctor, which leads me to my next question. What are your expectations for the summer season this year? Are you expecting an increase in the number of tourists than previous years? And generally, the numbers, are they expected to rise?
Well, definitely, there's going to be an annual increase between 10 and 15% versus last year, because there are more added facilities, more attractions. Remember, the Grand Egyptian Museum just opened last November. So there is, a daily influx of visitors to the attractions, to the destination, to the facilities. And there are more airports, we have now Burj Al Arab, we have Alamein, we have Marsa Matruh, we have Sphinx Airport. So all these, airline facilities add to the capacity and volume of regional and visitors, tourists to Egypt.
Indeed. Dr. Yehya, regarding hotels and occupancy rates and capacity of hotels in the summer touristic areas, how are they coming along? And I know there were plans by the state to increase the number of hotels and hotel rooms in tourism destination zones.
Well, really, I know a good number of developers who are developing, destinations and both on the Red Sea and, in southern Mediterranean.
Yes.
And which has been top class, resorts and facilities, are both, on individual and private corporations and government sponsors one, and regional as well, in the GCC developers. So all this is adding to the capacity, but still, there is more demand, and with this growing demand, we develop more capacities and luxury facilities to attract international visitors.
Indeed. Dr. Yehya, regarding internal tourism or domestic tourism, it also plays a great role now with the summer vacation. Schools and exams are over. Lots of people are looking forward to taking a break from, city life and their routines, etc. How important do you see the role of domestic tourism as well with regards to the development of the tourism sector in Egypt?
Of course, there's a great contribution of domestic and local tourism, like to the travel industry in Egypt. But, like one of the major concerns, like the rising cost, like booking and accommodation and cost, like of facilities, food prices, transportation. But this, like has been met, like with a growing plan from the governorates, like both in Red Sea and Southern Mediterranean to accommodate, like local and domestic travel as well regional and international demand on tourist facilities as well.
Doctor, also there is a very important part with regards to summer tourism, which are the summer activities, the festivals, the sporting competitions, acting festivals, etc. How do they attract more tourists and play a role in really exposing our tourism spots in Egypt?
Well, of course, like on a global scale, like tourist destinations worldwide, they try to create, like attractions, facilities, events, because visitors, like they spend long hours on aquatics, like daytime.
Yes.
But in the evenings, they need, like to attend to gala events, like folklore performances, acting, and so that's why, like. Each tourist destination is developing its program and event to make, like visitors hospitable and enjoy the vacation.
And also many international sporting competitions are also held, for example, beach volleyball, championships, etc. This is another aspect to attracting tourists from a different spectrum, indeed.
It is, and world tourism, they come and participate, and we invite, like regional and continental, like groups, like to participate in this event from, like Asia, like Central Europe and, like Southern Mediterranean and the U.S. as well. So really is a growing demand to participate and enjoy these activities in the summer season.
Right, and Doctor, of course, tourism doesn't just affect the tourism sector, but it affects the national economy as a whole and has many runoff effects, for example, the provision of jobs and job opportunities, especially during the summer period. How important do you see the role played in this regard, sir?
Oh, really, yeah, this is a good point because the tourism, like contributes to up to between 13 and 15% of the gross domestic product of the Egyptian economy.
Yes.
And it's a good opportunity for students who studies in colleges of travel and tourism and tour guidance. There's at least like 50,000 of them who join the labor market and they work for the Nile cruises, for the museums, for the restaurants, for the hotels, for the resorts, and they create demand and they gain experience, and that makes them, like on demand, especially on local and regional and international markets as well.
Absolutely right. We'll leave it at that. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Yehya Abdulqader, our tourism expert and counselor. Many thanks, sir, for your time and your